Hi, I'm Jan Cohen, and as usual, I'm on the beach. Big difference today. I'm not out on the beach. I'm sitting here in my cute yellow Jeep, looking out at the beach because it is so frigging cold. It's unbearable out there today. So I thought I would just sit here and say a few things that are on my mind constantly, and see if I can reach you and engage you and get some ideas from you, so perhaps we can brainstorm together and find some solutions to our current state of affairs. We are having a complete, I'm going to say evolution, but I don't feel like it's very evolved, but our country is in a terrible shape right now. Things that are being done by our current presidential administration are outrageous. They are things that have never been done by a president before, and nobody's doing anything to stop him. And that's why they can do it, because there's no stops in place. In fact, he is removing all the stops in place. The inspector generals are all gone. He's firing people by the masses out of the government positions. He has put a communications silence between departments. The health department isn't even allowed to tell us the things that's going on with the bird flu. And by the way, the bird flu is the reason why the price of eggs has skyrocketed. And now cows are testing positive for the bird flu. And we don't know what other animals or plants might have been infected. And apparently we're not going to know, because he has put a complete silence. He, being Trump, of course, the president, has silenced all the different departments, including the health department. They are not allowed to tell us, any of us, not even Congress and Senate, they are not allowed to leak any information about what is going on, what his orders are, what is taking place. But we do know this, from everything that he is doing, from everything he has said, and everything he has done in his last term and has already done in his first weekish of this term, we know that he is preparing and in the process of destroying our democracy as we know it. He does not have goodness and kindness and love in the center of his purpose. He has divisiveness and self-grandizing, and power and money is in his core of where he comes from every single day of his life. And we can tell this by the things he thinks and says and does, because he makes it very obvious to us. So here's part of my takeaway. When someone tells you or shows you, or both, who they are, believe them. If this country had believed the things that he said and did, and opened their eyes and read and did their homework and knew what he was up to, they would all know that his desire, his one big desire, other than being powerful and wealthy, his big desire is to stay in office for the rest of his life, and then hand that office of president down to his next of kin, which is Don Jr. This is what we have to look forward to in this country. These are the real issues. So I want to speak to everybody here, first of all, that's not a Trumper, that doesn't agree with everything that's going on, has gone on, and will go on, if he is unfettered and has nothing to stop him. What will go on is a complete destruction of our democracy, of our country as we know it, as our freedoms. Read Project 2025. This is Trump's playbook. He has made it perfectly clear that this is his playbook, because if you read it, you'll see that he is following step by step exactly what it says, no matter how much some days he denies knowing anything about it or being involved. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, co-wrote Project 2025, had a hand in it, and he is the Vice President of this country. So, the first takeaway is believe what you're seeing. Believe the truth, what people tell you and show you of themselves, not just Trump, everyone. We are putting people in charge in this country on every level of our government that have zero education in that regard, that have zero experience in that regard, that don't know a frigging thing about the office that they've been appointed to, and they are simply there because they're billionaires and cohorts of Donald J. Trump. That's their only qualification. These are not qualified lawmakers. They are nothing even close to that. In fact, they are the exact opposite. This is what's going on in the world. My second takeaway is this: something must happen. We must rise up. We must stand up for who we are, who this country is, who this country has always been. And I know you disaffected Americans think that Trump and everything he's doing is the answer to your prayers. I know you think that the entire black race are lazy and they don't work, and you have to work hard so that your tax dollars can support them. I know that you think that the Hispanic people flooding into our country are drug addicts and criminals and prostitutes and evil people, and that again, you have to work hard and they take your jobs, and that's why you can't get ahead in life. I know that you think that our Asian Americans are some terrible thing to you, that come from, you think they all come from China, and you think China is a terrible thing. None of this is true. You think that queer people, us queer people, that somehow we have an effect on your marriage, on your life, that somehow because we are allowed to love and marry the people that we love, that somehow that has something to do with your marriage. Well, let me tell you, it doesn't. This is just another crazy, screwed up piece of propaganda that you've been fed and ate it up, sucked it up like you had no mind of your own to question everything and make your own conclusions and decisions and judgments about what's being fed to you. Open your eyes, America, please. Open your eyes and see what is going on. It's happening everywhere. Turn on the real news. Take a look at what Trump and his administration and his wealthy cronies are up to. Go in with an open mind. Take a look at what's going on, and then reach out to me, please. We must have a social justice initiative that turns into a movement that overtakes this country, so that we can create a better world, a better country, a better planet, so that we can rise up and fill the world with love and kindness and goodness and equality and equity for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what race you are, no matter what country you come from, no matter who you love or who you identify as or what your gender is. Gender is not just defined as man and woman. That is so far from the truth that it's insane. And many of you call yourselves Christians. Look in your Bible. Actually open that thing and read it, and you'll see for yourself how many lies are being spewed around this country by this administration. All this propaganda comes from our administration. They are trying to turn this country into a Christian country. And if you don't believe me, turn on the real news and you'll see them saying it every single day, all day long. All the Trumpers, all the Republican senators and congressmen, there's a few that are not speaking out in that regard, but they are outnumbered and will be crushed. They will be crushed and driven out of the Congress and the Senate. Look at the damage that's being done everywhere. Look at the divisiveness in this country alone, no less the world. Open your eyes, America. Take a look at what's going on. Please, please, please join my initiative. Join me. Rise up with me. Let's do something about this. Let's fill the world with love and kindness and hope and teach them the tools that they need to be their best versions, not their worst. They're learning their worst right now. They think that lying and denying is the way of the world, that you can say and do and think whatever you want and it doesn't matter who it hurts. That's not a real thing. That's a Trump thing. Trump didn't make all these people angry and hateful. He just made them know that that's how they're supposed to be. It's a real thing to them. It's perfectly fine, and he encourages them to do it every day by his own behavior, by what he thinks and says and does. So the most powerful human in the world is the President of the United States. Always has been, always will be, I hope. Unless we have a king, or more specifically, more accurately, a dictator. And that's what Trump is positioning himself for. He has even asked to remove from the Constitution that presidents can only serve 2 terms. He has asked permission for him to serve a 3rd term. And it's not going to end there if he has his way. Please, join me. Open your eyes! I love you. I love this country. I love our planet. I love our world. Please join me in spreading love and kindness and goodness and real knowledge. Let's defeat this together. Let's change this from the hateful, hate-mongering place that the U.S. is becoming. And let's turn it back into the loving, kind place where we look out for our neighbors and our friends and our everybody in our community, in our city, in our state, in our country, and around the world. Let's go back to love. Let's go back. We must go back to love. Thank you. I hope you're having an amazing day, because that's what you deserve. I will see you soon again on the beach, and hopefully I'll be out of the Jeep next time.